Hello, today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on Plickers. Plickers is a new form of technology that I recently discovered through some classes, and I wanted to introduce it to you because I think that it could be a great tool that you use in your classroom before teaching takes place, while teaching takes place, and also after teaching has taken place. It can be used as a formative assessment. While you're teaching in the classroom, questions can be asked about things that you're teaching, and you can get real-time data as you're teaching. First of all, I want to show you how to create a class. So if you look up here at the very top, it says Classes. Go ahead and click on that, and it will bring up all of the classes that you've already created, or you can even add a new class. So you would click on Add New Class. This would bring up the box of basic class information. First of all, you would want to name your class. So since I work in the library, I will put library. Then you will select the year, and I will select kindergarten. Then the subject, and the subject would go along with me. It would be literature, language, arts. Then you would select a color for your class. The color does not necessarily mean anything, but you want to try and remember what color goes with what class, and you'll see later on where this comes into play. It has already selected the next available color for me, and that purple color is fine, so I will click Save. Then I will want to enter students into this particular class. If you already have a list somewhere, you can actually add a roster. You can cut and paste, say from a Word document, all of your students into this box. You can see you can either put them in first and last name or last name and then first name. It does not matter how you put them in. Then you would click Save. Since I don't have a document already made up with my students' names, I will just type in a name, and I'll start with Seat 1 and hit Enter. This will assign that student with a particular Plickers card. And I'll continue this for more of my students until all of my students are placed in the class. Then I can sort my students different ways, by their card number, by their first name, or by their last name. This feature can come in handy if your students already have a number that they are utilizing in the classroom. I know in our school in particular, a lot of the students have a number that their teacher assigns them, and usually they're given by the student's last name. So you can arrange the students by last name. This would arrange them so that hopefully their Plickers card would match up with their classroom number. Okay, after you have all of your classes created with the students added to the class, they will all show up here. Notice that the colored dots are associated with the classes. This is where you can arrange the classes into the order in which you'd want them, or let them the way that they are. We're going to click on my demo class. You can see that the demo class has 15 students in it. You can see that their names are there next to their Plickers card number. You can also see over here at the side it says available cards. If you scroll down through, there's a total of 63 available cards. This is good for somebody who would teach to a large group of students, or maybe a collaboration effort with another teacher. Since I will never have a class that size, I never have to worry about using that many cards, but it's good to know that they're there in case you ever want to do this with a large group of students. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like whenever your students start to participate in the actual activity of using Plickers. So you're going to go to the top and click on Library. This is where your questions that you're going to ask your students is housed. As you can see, I've already created 2 questions, and I actually have the data collected right here, and you see those colored dots again. Over here on the side, if you forget what color dot goes with what class, this is where it is. So I can see that I have already asked my demo class these 2 questions, and that the data is already right here for me to go and take a look at if I want to. I can also see that I have assigned this first question also to Mrs. Shawley's class, but yet they have not been asked that question yet, so no data has been collected for that particular question. The way that it works is I will actually go to Live View and click on that. You will then have to open the Plickers app within your smartphone. You will click on a question, and it will show you the question that you wanted to ask your students. Now, this is a question that I had asked previously to my students. So you can see here what the question was. You can see what the potential answers were. Then you can see over here on the side what students answered the questions and which students were not available. So we see that number 15 was not present that day and was not able to answer the question. Then I can reveal the answers if I want to. So if I want to show my students what they guessed or knew the answer to, I would click Reveal the Answers, and then you would see what students got it right and which students did not. You can also look at your data using a graph. If you see here, you can see that 2 students answered A, 3 answered B, 7 answered C, and 6 answered D. Now I can once again reveal the answer. There I see that only 3 of my students got the answer correct. If at any time you need to create a question on the fly, you're doing a teaching and you realize that your students just aren't getting the material and you quickly want to take a quick pulse of the class and see how things are doing, you can actually type out a question on your smartphone very quickly. You type in your answers, your potential answers. You put what you want your answer to be. You hit create. It will come up automatically right on the screen, and then your students will have an opportunity to guess the answer or to give you the answer that they know. So what you will do then is you will just start scanning, and I'll show you what that looks like. And you'll be able to see if my students got the answer right or if they had no idea what was going on. And you can see now, as I'm doing this, that the bar graph is already starting to be made up on the screen. And all I'm doing is taking my device, my smartphone, and scanning those papers that each of the students holds. Then what I can do is I can see the bar graph. I can see that 4 students answered yes, 4 answered no. I can go back and see what students answered my questions, what students did not. I can hide answers and simply have check marks to show me what students were aware and were present for that. I can check the bar graph, and I can reveal answers as well. I hope that this was a helpful tutorial and a quick demonstration of how Plickers can be useful for you in your classroom. I think that it's a great resource just for the limited amount of technology that it takes, but how we can quickly get a gauge of our classroom. We can use it for bell ringers at the beginning of class. We can use it for formative assessment during teaching, and also as an end-of-class activity or a ticket out the door exercise so that students are able to prove to us that learning has taken place, and we're able also to prove that learning has taken place. Thank you.